All right, guys, welcome back to day 3 of our 30-day at-home workout series. So again, for today's warm-up, we are going to start with just one round this time. However, obviously you can feel free to do this more than once if you feel a little bit stiff or a little bit slow kind of warming up. So feel free to add a couple sets, but you can certainly just keep it to the one round too, especially if you're pressed for time. We're going to do 10 jumping jacks, 10 sit-ups, 10 air squats, and 10 trunk twists, right? So again, we've done jumping jacks, but again, I'll have Dino demonstrate a couple quick reps here, just a couple full range of motion, clap overhead, clap at your side, right? Nothing fancy there. Then we've got our sit-ups. So again, back to our ab mat. Again, if you're at home and you need a towel or a couch cushion, by all means, go ahead and grab that. Go ahead and lay all the way back. Try to do it with your feet butterflied. Touch your hands above your head ever so slightly, and then tap your toes at the top. One key thing here too is not to let your hips flop around a whole lot. So you don't want to let your hips rise way off the ground and then flop them down to try to pull you forward. Moving on, we've got our air squat. So again, a little bit wider than hip width, so it's more like a shoulder width. Toes are turned out, 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Full range of motion, hip crease below the knees, and we're keeping that torso nice and tall. So Dino's using his arms up in front of him to keep that torso tall. Last but not least, we have trunk twists. So Dino's gonna go ahead and just put his arms out to his sides, and he's gonna simply rotate the upper half of his body side to side. He can actually add a pivot on the foot if he'd like to incorporate the hips. This is an opportunity to start moving in different directions, right? So a lot of the exercises we do are forward and backward. This gives us a chance to twist and turn. It can be super, super helpful for those side oblique muscles and our lower back. That is your warm-up for day 3. All right, and our skill component for day 3 is going to be a little bit more core work today. So we're going to do a variety of different plank holds. We're going to do 3 sets, 30 seconds in each position. So I'm going to have Dino start in our basic elbow position plank. He's going to go ahead and get down all the way to the floor. He's going to make sure his elbows are straight down from his shoulders. He's going to make sure his feet are either splayed out slightly or he can bring them together if he wants to make it a little bit harder. He's got a good tight core, right? So he's drawing his belly up into his lower back. He's squeezing his hips, he's squeezing his thighs, and he's making sure that his shoulders aren't collapsing at the top. He's now going to transition from the elbow to a straight plank. Some people call this a push-up plank. Some people call it a tall plank. Doesn't matter. It looks like the top of a push-up because that's what it is. And again, he's got all those same points of performance. So shoulders are locked out, core is nice and tight, hips are tight, and thighs are tight. From here, after 30 seconds, he's going to rotate into a single arm right side plank. So he's going to simply rotate to his right arm. He's going to attempt to either splay his feet or stack his feet, so depending on what he's comfortable with, and he's going to again hold this position for 30 seconds. He's going to go ahead and transition to the same position on the opposite side, so now he's going to move to a left arm plank. And again, you'll see his feet are splayed because that's what he's comfortable with. If you have it in you, you can certainly stack the feet on top of each other. From here, at the end of 30 seconds, he goes back to that straight arm, tall plank, push-up plank, whatever we want to call it, holds it for 30 seconds, and now he's going to finish this series by dropping back down into that elbow plank and hold it for one final 30 seconds, right? That is one round or one set. We're going to complete that 3 total sets. All right, and day 3's workout of the day or conditioning component is going to be 10 rounds for time. So this is a lot of volume today. We're gonna do 10 air squats, 10 up downs, and 10 tuck jumps, right? So each round isn't gonna seem so bad, but if you obviously do the math, you're gonna be doing 100 air squats, 100 up downs, and 100 tuck jumps. So for some of us, that's gonna be a lot of work. If you're not comfortable with that, scale it back. Make it 8 rounds, make it 5 rounds. Whatever is appropriate for where you're at today, knowing that this is part of a process and we're going to be able to add more volume over time. So our air squat, we've done it today already, but again, Dino's going to go ahead and take that same stance we've been taking, 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock with the toes, slightly wider than hip, more like shoulder width stance. He's going to go ahead and sit all the way down, hip crease gets below the knees, and torso stays nice and tall. So he bangs out 10 reps there. Now he's going to move on to an up down. For those of us that are familiar with a burpee, we know that a burpee has both a push-up and a jump at the top of the movement. An up-down is a burpee with neither the push-up nor the jump. So Dino's gonna go ahead and put his hands on the ground, jump his feet back into a tall push-up position, or a tall plank position, I should say, and he's gonna jump his feet back forward and stand tall. You'll notice he does not bring his chest to the ground, nor does he jump at the top. Now, if he doesn't quite have that range of motion or that comfort, he can go ahead and put his hands down and walk his feet back, right? So 1 foot back, and then repeat that to bring them back in and stand tall. So again, depending on where you're at with this movement. Last but not least, he's going to do 10 tuck jumps. The key here, he does not have to do a full squat. These are not squat jumps, they are tuck jumps. So the difference here is going to be that he's going to only bend his knees as much as he feels he needs to get that explosive takeoff into his jump, and then he's going to try to draw his knees up and towards his chest, adding a layer of intensity here. So he squats down, jump up, and tuck those knees up into his midsection, right? And you'll notice he's keeping his arms out in front for balance. If you need that, that is totally fine. If you don't need that, that is up to you. But the key is he's adding that intensity of pulling the knees up into the midsection. Again, 10 rounds, 10 reps of each. Scale the volume as needed. Have some fun with that one.